Alright, here we are on day 12, I think it is, of this COVID quarantine business. And I've done lots of little odds and ends today. But the one significant thing I did here was make myself a new camera mount. In the station where I run the 2 a.m. net, I've got this camera hanging from the ceiling. And this is the mount that I've always used for that. I put this together out of scraps. This clamp would clamp onto a joist, and then I have this rod, which the length is adjustable. There's a friction fit on here. And then it's actually this direction. The camera could swivel this way, and of course the camera can turn this way. The camera was on here like that. And the only thing I didn't like, well, there's two things I didn't like about it. One is that it's rigid and it's not very secure. I would hit my head on here all the time, and I was always worried that this was going to come unclamped. It never actually happened. So I guess I'm lucky I never dropped the camera. But the other problem is I didn't have any freedom of movement in this direction. So I was stuck underneath the joist, and then if I needed to angle the camera back to, point in the right direction, I couldn't. So that's where this thing comes in. Now, as always, I probably built a monstrosity here that's way overbuilt, so we'll see. This one clamps onto a joist like this. I've got this set screw here that'll clamp onto the joist, and I'm probably going to put a steel plate in here so I don't end up screwing a hole into the joists that way. But here I have my extra direction of movement, and something that I did different here. Instead of having one long straight rod, I divided that section into two here so that I can lengthen or shorten it effectively as needed. Now the problem with that is this is actually bigger and clumsier than the other one, so can't really get that in the camera here. So it might actually be more in the way. I'll have to find out. If it is, I can always cut one of these down. But I've got that direction of movement here. And then I duplicated that down here so that I can re-angle the camera. Now the idea here, and I can't really get that in the camera, is that I don't have to be over a joist, or under a joist, I mean. I can be angled over to the side or whatever, and I'm not sure how well that's showing up. Really can't reposition the camera right now. But there you have it. It's got a lot more movement. It might be a little more secure. My only concerns so far, this might not be strong enough to hold the camera. The other one had a little bit more beef to it here. This one, this might be a little scary here. I might have to reinforce this somehow. I'll have to do some testing on that and see how it holds up. The other issue I'm going to have is these pieces here are so long and thin, this thing's going to want to vibrate. The camera is probably going to be really shaky. It's fine when the camera is mounted in position, but what I foresee happening is if I do accidentally bump the camera, it's going to wobble like crazy. So I may reinforce these by gluing a piece in the other direction here. But I'll do some testing. We'll see how it works. I think overall I'll have a little bit better results. I won't be fighting with it as much, hopefully. There you have it. I cut all these pieces out of scrap, and of course I made all of these screws like I always do with the bent round stock welded onto a screw there, so I don't need a wrench to tighten anything. But that's day 12. There you have it. I don't suspect I'll be working on any more large projects, but we'll see. I've got a whole bunch of little things that need to be done here before I go back to work, which, the way it's looking, I might hopefully go back to work next week. We'll see. Depends, I suppose, what the governor does. But thank you for watching.